for the opportunity to be there for people to work. Yeah. You know, and be able to succeed and be able to better their lives and their families' lives. That's the goal, is to give them some of the tools that they need in the newer society that we have now, and in the new economy that we have now, for them to do that, as opposed to just kicking them out on the street and saying, all right, good luck, and you know, we hope for the best.
Well, and I think what people have to realize, too, is you guys have to deal with still a Democratic legislator. So you might be able to be more aggressive in retooling these programs, or maybe even eliminating some that get abused, but that's never going to happen with the Democrats in control, so people have to realize that.
Yeah, and it's increments. You know, we need to start getting people off of the system that has been created, and in order to do that, you know, some of these points of this plan will help them get the tools that they need in order to do it. Now, you know, once these tools are offered for those people that do not take advantage of those tools, that's the point in time when we really need to say, okay, you know, you've had an opportunity, you know, we've given you the fishing pole, we've taught you how to fish, you're still not, you know, out there doing what you need to do. Right. We need to rethink the benefits that you're getting from the state of Delaware.
I think and again, I said this the other day, what people have to, if they actually take a look at it, what people have to understand is with this 11-point plan, A, no one's saying that it's going to solve poverty 100%. B, no one's saying that necessarily that folks that are lazy, that don't want to better themselves, it may not change anything with them. Right. But there are folks in poverty that want to better themselves, and this gives them a better opportunity of getting out of poverty. Third, nowhere here does it create new programs or just simply give more money to people sitting on their dump. No. Any comment of that is just uninformed. That's not what's in this 11-point plan. And, you know, I don't mean to talk down if you don't want to sound like that, but please educate yourself on it. Don't speak out when you haven't even read the thing. Some people have made some comments that frankly are inaccurate about this plan.
Right. And you know, I ask that people, you know, educate themselves, of course, but you know, take a fair, objective look at what we're trying to do. We're trying to drive people off of the social service programs. We're not going to be able to get everybody off. You know, there are instances where people cannot work due to disability, due to some issues, and that's fine. You know, there are those people, but there are a lot of people out there, and I've dealt with people before, you know, on a one-on-one basis that are trying to do the right thing, that need the job training, and we've been able to give them those resources. But you know, the way things are set up now, it's not designed for the masses. It's not designed for, you know, the amount of people that really need, you know, the additional job training, that need some of this help in order to bring themselves and their families out of poverty. And that's what we're looking to do. Not bring more money, or not to spend more money for new programs, but to divert some of the money that's being spent on existing programs that keep people in poverty, and direct them to programs that will help take people out of poverty and then get them off the rolls.
All right, well, lots to get to with that. We'll continue the conversation and take your phone calls. Back with more next.
Traffic and weather time at 15 and 45 here on 92.7 WGMD and WGMD.com.
This WGMD Reliant Traffic Report is a service of Complete Tree Care and Complete Lawn Care. Licensed and insured, competitive pricing, and dependable service. For a free estimate on all your tree and lawn care needs, call 947-2273 or on the web, CompleteTreeCare.us.
We're rolling along fine on the drive through Sussex County. So far, so good on Route 1 from Fenwick to Bethany, through Rehoboth and Lewis, etc. Looks like a good drive all the way up to Milford. All right, looks like we travel on Route 113. Oh, yes, it's that roadway, a stretch of roadway between Ellendale and Milford, and the secondary roads accessing 113, a little slow through there. Route 13, south of 30, got construction, and then a good go up through Kent County, through Frederica, up to Dover and Smyrna, and all the way up to northern Delaware. 1590 good through Worcester County. Coastal Highway got that construction from the state line to 60th Street. 50 through Wycomico, Dorchester, and Talbot County's good to Kent Narrows and the Bay Bridge. Traffic brought to you by Alliance Home Security, maintaining 24/7 monitoring of your home, offering free one-day installation of their security system, plus a $100 gift card for signing up. For security and peace of mind, call Alliance Home Security at 800-449-4918. I'm Alexander Pila, WGMD Reliant Traffic.
Sunshine and a few clouds today. It'll be milder than it was yesterday, up to a high of 52. It's going to become quite cloudy tonight and breezy, low down to 48. see periods of rain and a thunderstorm tomorrow. Still quite breezy as well. Tomorrow's high up to 61 and cooling it back off on Friday. Clouds in the morning, breaking for some afternoon sun. Friday's high around 55. Back into the 40s for the weekend. For WGMD's exclusive AccuWeather, this is meteorologist Steve Travis.
All right, Steve, thanks so much. Don't forget, freeze warning in effect until 9 o'clock this morning for the Delmarva Peninsula. Temperatures on average between 27 and 28 right now. Wind is not a factor. And don't forget, a beat the peak alert in effect until 8 o'clock this morning for Delaware and Choptank Electric Cooperative members. Keep those high energy usage items to a minimum if at all possible. More with Delaware State Senator Brian Pettyjohn and your phone calls next.
I'm Randy Miller in the WGMD newsroom. Here's some stories we're working on. A Bridgeville woman arrested for her third felony DUI offense, and Rehoboth police arrest 3 men for a string of burglaries. The news is coming up online at WGMD.com and on the air at 92.7 WGMD, the talk of Delmarva.
When you look in the mirror, do you like what you see and how you feel? Picture a life of better health with FunFit Vibe and Power Play technology.
I'm Marge from Millsboro. I achieved my goals in the areas of balance, strength, health, and appearance in 3 years. I have been working with Power Play. I'm 79 years old and started FunFit Vibe at 75 and intend to continue until I'm 100.
Take control of your fitness and health. Call FunFit Vibe at 302-249-8000.
Hey, it's Bob Steele. Out and About Wednesday is approaching us again, and it's going to be another blast over at Lewis Meineke Car Care Center. Now, I'm going to be doing my entire show from 9 to noon with Dave, Tim, Angie, and the whole crew at Lewis Meineke. It's going to be a great time with a full lineup of guests that you won't want to miss. Food for all will be provided by America's Pie. So come on by, hang out, and have some lunch with us this Wednesday at Lewis Meineke on Route 1 just north of the Nassau Bridge. It's Out and About Wednesday. Listen up, landowners. Mahindra Tractors has the best deal ever on the world's #1 selling tractor. Only at Southern States Milford. Enjoy up to $6,000 cash back in savings on Mahindra Tractors for 0 interest for up to 84 months. Plus, enjoy a 5-year powertrain warranty. See why Mahindra is the smart choice. For great tractor and utility vehicle packages, visit Southern States Milford at the corner of Route 14 and Williamsville Road. Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
Did you know that a thorough eye exam can help catch devastating eye diseases like glaucoma and macular degeneration early? Early detection helps to maintain healthy eyes for a lifetime of clear, comfortable vision. Let the doctors and staff at Sussex Eye Center provide you with quality eye care and state-of-the-art technology in a friendly and professional atmosphere. Offering 4 locations throughout Sussex County, Sussex Eye Center is always close to home. Serving you since 1982. Visit SussexEyeCenter.com. They take the time. You see the difference.
Delaware State Senator Brian Pettyjohn is in studio now, getting you in the know on first state politics and taking your calls here on 92.7 WGMD and WGMD.com.
Yeah, 302-945-9292, 800-518-9292, pound 927. That's a free call if you're a Verizon Wireless customer, courtesy of Verizon Wireless. Before you get to the calls, and we will get to you, we'll give you your time. Again, talking about this poverty, the ideas to combat poverty, that is, Brian, as well. This idea, too, this notion that the majority of people that are impoverished are okay with that situation and want to just stay home and collect checks. Yeah. We all know that there are people that abuse the system, but to make a blanket statement that the majority don't care, that's ridiculous. And if you want to say they have no incentive, well, that's the government's fault then. Yes. No, that's as much the government's fault as their fault. I guess what I would say, though, that I think what listeners would love to see at some point, you have 2 situations. You've got some folks that are just above the poverty line that are working hard at several jobs and honestly could use some assistance. Right. And then sadly you've got those who don't go out and they just collect a check at home all the time. But secondly, you've got a situation where with wages per se, you've got certain jobs where they would take a cut if they took XYZ job over the check that they're currently getting. There's got to be something down the road in legislation where if it would be a cut, let's say, that the government would supplement the cut, but that you still have to go out and work. Yeah, something like that.
There are a lot of scenarios in play here, and one of them that I've heard from several people that are receiving benefits is that if they get a job that just pays a little bit more, then number one, they lose a lot of the benefits, and then that negative, they're really falling behind at that point in time. They still have to pay for the child care. They still have to pay, everything that they're having to pay. So, being where they are and they know right where that line is, where they can receive the maximum benefit. They would love to work more. They would love to find a job where they can leapfrog over that kind of like donut hole, area that they would fall in. But they know that if they make $1,000 more a year or $100 more a year, then they're going to lose all the benefits that they're getting, and then they're going to be even further behind. And at that point in time, they're at risk of losing their house and wherever they're living, being not able to afford rent payments, things like that. So there are inherent problems in the system, and we need to take a holistic look at the entire system. Not just one thing, and that's why we've got this 11-point plan, is to start the discussion. This isn't going to solve everything. Not everything that we're presenting as a caucus is going to work. Not everything that we are presenting is going to go through the General Assembly, but it's a starting point for the discussion to say, what can we do to help people that really want to get out of poverty? What can we do to help them?
Well, and that's the key, that want to. We're acknowledging the fact that there are some people that are never going to get off their duff, but for those that do want to get out. All right, let me get to the phone calls. Good morning, you're up at WGMD with Senator Pettyjohn.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good, great. Listen, Brian, I read, thanks, Mike, for sending it to me.
Sure.
I call it the 11-step program to poverty, just like the 12 steps in AA. I call it 11.
To poverty.
I read number 5, and hey, by the way, Brian, do you still have your cuffs when you were a cop?
I wasn't a cop. That was Steve.
Oh, Steve was a cop?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could borrow Steve's cuffs and cuff Mike so he doesn't flip me off, so I can try to get my point out.
Oh, go ahead. I'm not going to cut you off.
Yeah. Number 5, the poverty housing tax credit, where $500,000 is going to be going to the local communities and agencies to create some type of stable housing, right?
Okay.
Did I say that right?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I think you've got it pretty much right.
Okay, cool. The problem with that is it sounds like it's going to be a reduced rental. So, for example, if instead of a family paying $900 a month, they pay $600 a month, and then out of this $500,000, $300 per month goes towards the family. Is that about right?
Probably. Again, with these ideas, the details have not been worked out yet.
Okay.
These are ideas that are up for discussion. So, we would get together, if whoever wants to participate in the conversation, get together and work out some details. But I think you have pretty much the general gist of...
Okay, great. Well, here's the question. Isn't that considered another handout to the poor? Because if you're reducing their rent, instead of paying $900, they're paying $600, and you're helping them with that, along with Social Security benefits, along with Medicaid, along with WIC, along with all these other social programs, isn't that another enabling them?
Not necessarily. I mean, we're trying to give them stable housing so that the families that are living in these houses can start breaking that cycle of poverty.
Well, I think they're going to just stay there the entire life.
Well,
there's no time limit on these things.
And again, the point that you're missing, Jay, is
there are
no details on it yet. We have to have these discussions like we're having now to work out some of these issues and some of these pitfalls. I welcome this kind of discussion. That way, I'm typing notes as we're talking right now to say, yep, Jay's got a good point. Let me go ahead and make that a point for discussion. So when we're trying to develop these ideas, we can head that off.
Well, I know people that's been in this type of program with Medicaid and disability social services and for years, and they have no intention of ever getting out or off of these programs because the state and this enabling process is helping them stay in this position.
Exactly, and that's what we're trying to do, Jay. We're trying to create the help that's needed, but we don't want this to be a continuing program that perpetuates the problem of people using and depending on the system.
Now, on opening day, Mike and I got into an argument, and I said to him, please call anyone from social services. talk to the ladies over there, and they'll say to you, yeah, this person's been on here, and the average person has been on here 3 to 5 years, if not longer.
Right.
So, isn't there any type of...
Yeah, but Jay, the assumption that every last person in poverty or the majority don't want to get, don't want to better themselves, that's just false. And how do you know that some of those people haven't tried to get out? You're assuming that all the people they're talking about that have been on 3 to 5 haven't been trying to get out of that. You don't know that.
Not with this one. I have one picture in mind. This woman that has 6 kids. She's going to stay in these type of programs her whole life.
And Jay, we know, we understand that, but we're saying that there are folks that do want to better themselves, and for those, if they have a better chance of getting out of poverty because they do want to better themselves, then at least it's a start to try to start talking about creating an environment or retooling things that can make that possible.
Hey, Brian, it's easier for a woman to stay home with kids and watch soap operas all day long than it is to try to get herself out and try to get even a little part-time job.
And one of the things that we're trying to do, Jay, and yeah, thanks. And one of the things we're trying to do, Jay, is to reform the system so that you don't have these people that are going to be on there for years and years and generation after generation. It's going to be tough, yes. It's going to be tough for some of these people to actually have to go out and re-enter the workforce. But that's what we're trying to do, is to create that opportunity for them to go out and re-enter the workforce and to contribute to the system as opposed to taking from the system, year after year.
Well, and the other thing, Brian, as you said, too, that Jay's missing out on, you didn't say that you agree with every last point.
Exactly.
Good morning. You're up at WGMD. Thanks so much for waiting.
Hello?
Yes, you're live on the air. Thanks so much for waiting. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to change topics a little bit. I understand that Senator Pettyjohn is one of the sponsors of the Sunday deer hunting bill.
Yes, that's fine. Go ahead.
And I'd like to discuss that a little bit.
Sure.
I know that the proposed bill is proposing to allow hunting on private property, but those of us that get to enjoy Sundays with our families, and we can go into the parks and state forests and not be concerned for our safety, because in the winter time is the best time to be out enjoying many of these places, taking walks when there's no bugs and there's no heat, watching people riding their horses through the areas, just enjoying the days. And now we're going to be concerned about our safety on Sundays.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. How many people have been hurt or injured on the other 6 days of the week while they're doing their horseback riding? Horseback riding just doesn't happen on Sundays during hunting season. There hasn't been anybody that's been killed or injured, even in states that allow Sunday hunting. People respect, and hunters are probably one of the best group of people that